Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, this is EAJ Man from Autopsy Live and the Skype Pirates. When I want to make it look like I don't give a shit about sports, I tune into Sports World Radio with Jeff Escow.
Jeff
Doing about time. Doing about time. Got myself a problem.
from San Diego. It's Sports World Radio. You've never heard a sports show like this. Oh, no, you haven't.
Oh, blow me.
You got it.
Holy fucking shit.
What in the hell is your major malfunction?
Can't believe that goddamn son of a bitch did that fucking crap.
Don't give me any of your shit.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Those are your hosts, Jeff Ascow and Sean Mann. Remember, those who can't play sports, talk about it. These two tell it like it is. Tune into Sports World Radio for the fastest hour of sports of your life. So here they are, the douchebags of sports themselves, Jeff Escow and Sean Mann.
Hey, welcome everybody to Sports World Radio. I'm the host, Jeff Escow. We got a jam-packed show for you guys today, like we do each and every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. How's everybody doing? Glad you all could spend your evening, your afternoon with us here on SportsWorldRadio.com. Like I just said, jam-packed show like we have here each and every Monday through Friday. Let's get all the particulars out of the way, and then we'll get on with the show. We'll bring in Sean. We'll do all the rest that we do here at Sports World Radio. And Josh posted, our producer, posted a cool video from today's Skip and Steve show I want to talk about a little bit, too, today. We'll get into all of that. But first, head on over to Facebook.com and like our Facebook page at Facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. And while you're doing that, head on over to Twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio as well and follow us on Twitter. SportsWorldRadio.com is the place to listen to the show. If you want to come and hang out in our chat room, Spreaker.com is where we're doing the chat. SPREAKER.com. Get yourself a free account over there, then type in Sports World Radio, all one word, and bada bing, bada boom. The player will come up on the bottom of the screen. Click the heart. Click the bubble next to the heart and start chatting away with us. It's free, so head on over to Spreaker.com. If you want to get in touch with the show, 619-663-3715. That's 619-663-3715. Now, with all the particulars out of the way, what do you say? Hey, we bring in that co-host of ours, Sean Mann, the update man. What's going on, Schmedley?
I am doing fine there, Jeff. Welcome to Sports World Radio on this Tuesday, October 14th, 2014. It is 6:07 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 3:07 p.m. Pacific Time. You live in the Central, figure it out for yourself. Weather right now, cool and very cloudy up here in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Probably like in the 60s right now, I'm predicting, but it's nice and cool. How are you, Jeff? How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Nice.
Fantastic. It's gorgeous. It's sunny San Diego out here. You know, it's beautiful. I went for my nice walk around the block today. Shaved my face. Got rid of all that crap because the Giants lost. So I had to shave my face. That's all gone. I got a nice short goatee going on right now. It's really nice. No beard, no freaking hair in my drink or food or nothing like that. No more. I love it. Been a good day. Went for my walk, like I said. Did that. Took care of my face. Did everything I wanted to do today. I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's have some fun here on Sports World Radio today. What do you say, buddy?
You got it all the time, man. Ready to rock.
Okay, so Josh, our producer today, put up a video on my Facebook page. There's been a lot of Facebook action this morning, hasn't there been?
Yeah, Gary being upset for one.
Well, Gary could be upset all he freaking wants. His team is still in last place. He could say, my team turned 20 points. And that. I don't care. Your team's still in last place, and that's what really means something.
I tried to explain that to him, Jeff. I tried to say,
No.
What does the points have to do with W's and L's? It's the
Nothing.
W's and the L's that matter, Gary.
Correct. So our producer, Josh, and I know he put it up for me to see because I know he's harassing me a little bit with the Dallas Cowboys. So on today's show with him and Skip Bayless, where the hell is it, man? I can't find it now on my wall.
Skippy Bayless.
Skippy Bayless and Stephen A. Smith, they do a show. What is that called on ESPN?
Isn't it called First Take?
First
I think
Take.
that's what it's called.
Thank you very much. Yes, it's called First Take. And they do this show, and Stephen A. Smith paid up the bet today that he made with Skippy. He was wearing a Dallas Cowboy jersey and a Dallas Cowboy hat. And he had to do the whole 2-hour show like that. Now, how funny is that? I saw that video. Oh, there it is right there. Thank you. I saw that, and I was freaking hysterical. I thought it was freaking funny the whole 2 hours. He was disgusted that he had to do that. Disgusted that he had to do that. And I hope and pray that his wish does come true, because he did say, I don't care what has to happen. I don't care when it's going to happen, but I will get you back, Skip. Hey, Stephen A., you want to get him back? Put me on the show. I'll get him back for you. Put me on the show. I'll take him to town. He won't want to be your partner no more after I'm done with him. Bring it, bitch. I just thought it was kind of funny that Stephen A. Smith paid his debt to Skippy. Oh, and by the way, happy birthday, Stephen A. Smith.
And Skippy Bayless probably would have said, see, told you so that Dallas was going to be in first place, but nobody listens to me.
It was funny. They were calling him Stephen A. Romo. That's what they were calling him, Stephen A. Romo. It was freaking hysterical. I was laughing my blanking butt off today, man. It was freaking. I thought it was funny. Thank you very Josh for putting it on my page. He sent it to me. Obviously, he sent it to Sean. He sent it to Nicholas. He sent it to Andrew. He sent it to Gary. He sent it to Double A. He sent it to all of us. I thought it was freaking hysterical. I thought it was funny. Thank you very much for sharing that with me today, producer man of the show. That got me in a good mood, because I started laughing, and I've been in a good mood ever since. So thank you very much, buddy. What's the first topic of the day you got for me, pal?
All right, Jeff, first story we have, first topic. The 49ers and the Rams, Monday Night Football. The San Francisco 49ers at one point were trailing last night 14-0. They come back from 14 points down and prevail 31-17. We all know that the playoffs are going on.
You watched
but
that
how
game?
amazing it is, Jeff, that San Francisco is playing St. Louis in football, and you got the baseball series going on between the two teams.
Did you watch that game?
No, I didn't watch.
You didn't watch any of the game?
I did not watch any of the game.
Okay, first of all, I was hungry after the show, so usually I wait about an hour after the show, and then I go and make dinner. But I was hungry, so at 5:30 I went and I made dinner. We had steak and potatoes last night, delicious. So I went and made dinner. So when I had dinner, I was eating dinner, and I was watching. What was I watching? I was watching The Big Bang Theory reruns, and I looked at the clock and I said, "Oh damn, the football game is on." And I turned the game on, and St. Louis is winning. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So I watched a little bit of it, checked it out, and I said, I can't watch this no more. This is disgusting. So I went, and I looked at the clock. I said, ooh, I better go see what's going on in the game. San Francisco's winning. I'm like, yeah, that's what I figured. Okay, bye, see ya. So I watched maybe 3 minutes of the game. I was kind of shocked that San Francisco was winning. I was shocked. How crazy is it that San Francisco are playing in baseball, and San Francisco and St. Louis played in football last night? How crazy is that?
Kind of nuts when you think about it.
That's freaking unbelievable, ain't it?
Sure is.
It would have been even more crazy if they were playing in San Francisco last night.
Would have been extremely crazy, but a game that the 49ers need to have. And Josh goes, I'm all good. At least the 49ers won what place I am in. Not an impressive victory, by the way, but I wasn't watching.
Yeah, but Josh, you got them at 6-10, so you can't have them winning any more freaking games.
They're 4-2 right now. The 49ers are. Colin Kaepernick was 22 of 36, 343 yards, 3 touchdown passes, Jeff. No interceptions to lead the 49ers past
He looked
the
terrible.
Rams. And they did look terrible. They were down 14-0. I thought, Oh, boy. But
Is
I've had
it
a
me?
perfect weekend for the pick'em because I almost got every point right. All it was the tie and then the Seattle loss.
I must get every point right. Shut
Hey.
up. Hey, and you're in second place. You're 2 points behind Adrian. You got to knock him out.
Hey, Adrian, I'm ganging up on you.
That's right.
You know
Sean.
what? I just had a prediction. Why is Adrian not here? He's probably depressed because the Orioles are down 0-2 in the ALCS.
Well, that could be too. But, Sean, you're the closest. You and Encyclopedia Man are right on him. I mean, Encyclopedia Man's in third. He's got 58 points. Adrian's got 61. You got 59 points. So you're right there. Okay, you need to go and get him. All
yeah,
right?
just
take it over. Just take it
don't
over.
worry. Like the
just take it
Cowboys,
over.
the collapse will happen. The 69ers will miss the playoffs.
Yeah, don't worry. The collapse will happen with the Dallas Cowboys. I'll tell you something. The way they played Sunday against Seattle, you better hope and pray a collapse happens. Well, I was looking at my sports stuff here on my computer today, and am I wrong? Or did a Dallas Cowboy by the name of Randall get arrested for shoplifting today?
He got arrested for shoplifting today.
How about that? How about that?
And on that note, we're going to finish with more of this topic right after the commercial break.
How about that? You're listening to Jeff Escow and Sean Man on
Sports World Radio.
How about that?
This message brought to you by FEMA. Stay fire safe this winter. Turn portable heaters off when you go to bed or leave the room. Keep anything that can burn at least 3 feet away. Plug portable heaters directly into wall outlets. Inspect and replace damaged cords, broken outlets, or loose connections. Use portable heaters with an automatic shutoff so that if they tip over, they turn off. Only use portable heaters approved by a recognized testing laboratory. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Be fire safe during the holidays. Only use decorations that are non-flammable or flame retardant. Check holiday lights each year for frayed wires or excessive wear. And do not link more than 3 strands. Never leave a burning candle unattended. Consider using battery-operated flameless candles which look and smell like real candles. If your celebration includes a natural tree, keep it away from any heat source or exit. Water your tree daily to keep it from becoming dry. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov.
What kind of person gets to work in the sunshine instead of an office? This kind of person. I am the new way to work. I do have an office. I'm just not chained to it. It's a Regis office at one of the nicest addresses in the city. I don't have a lease, so I don't have to budget for stuff like phones, IT guys, and artwork for the lobby. Instead, I pay one low monthly rate that gives me a beautiful lobby that impresses my clients, a friendly receptionist, a fully furnished office, a place to meet, and a place to brainstorm with my fellow new way to workers. We wonder why more people don't realize that the new way to work is the best way to work. I come here because I want to, not because I have to. I am the new way to work, and I'd like you to join me.
Start now and get 1 month free. Call 1-800-OFFICES or visit regis.com/TV.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, bringing you the best 2 hours of sports talk on the internet. I guarantee it every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. 6 o'clock on the East, 3 o'clock on the West, and if you live in the damn Central.
If you live in the Central, you need to figure it out for yourself.
I don't know if they can. I don't know if they
As
can.
we continue
so
with
we go
more
to
of the
break,
topic, Dallas
right, Sean?
Cowboys Randall arrested on theft charge, and it was pretty funny what Jeff
Yeah,
told
so we
me
go
on
to
the commercial break.
So we go to commercial break, and I teased you about Randall, correct?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, so this came out 2 hours ago. This is by the AP Sports. You guys are going to love this. Cowboys running back Joseph Randall has been arrested on shoplifting charges, accused of taking $123 worth of cologne and underwear from a suburban Dallas department store and telling a police officer he thought to himself, all right, y'all got me, after security guards stopped him. Randall, who is charged with a Class B misdemeanor theft between $50 and $500, was detained Monday evening by store security and later taken to the Frisco City Jail before posting bond early Tuesday, Police Sergeant Brad Merritt said. The arrest came a day after one of Randall's best games since joining Dallas as a fifth-round draft pick out of Oklahoma State last season. He had a 38-yard run and a key tackle on a kickoff in a 30-23 victory over Super Bowl champion Seattle. Here's where it gets funny, guys. This is the best part, I think. According to an arrest report, Randall was caught on video placing items later identified as a tester bottle of Gucci Guilty Black Cologne and a 2-pack of Polo underwear into a Dillard's bag after making a purchase at the store at Stonebriar Center, about 30 miles north of Dallas. The 22-year-old Randall was stopped by a security guard in the parking lot and later told the police officer that when he saw the old guy, referring to the security guard, he told himself, all right, y'all got me. How great is that? How great is that? After getting stopped by security, Randall returned to the store and the items were recovered. The cost of the items were $123.50 before sales tax. Randall is in the second year of his 4-year, $2.3 million contract with a base salary of $495,000 this year. How great is that?
Jeff, I was just going to say, it kind of reminds me of what happened to the Dallas Mavericks. I believe it was Tyson Chandler. Remember when he was having too much alcohol and he got pulled over, and then maybe he said, oh, like, who am I? Well, I could say this. This Dallas Cowboy, Randall, who got arrested for shoplifting, he goes, okay, y'all got me, but who am I?
Yeah, but he didn't play the who am I card. He didn't say, hey, listen.
I know. He could have done that, you know.
He didn't play it, though. He didn't play it. Joseph Randall didn't say, hey, I'm Joseph Randall. I play for the Dallas Cowboys. Hey, dude, a test bottle of cologne and a 2-pack pair of underwear? Dude, you're making $490. First of all, what kind of underwear are you buying and cologne that are you buying that it's costing you a 2-pack pair of underwear and a tester bottle of cologne, $123? What the hell are you buying? What is this, underwear got steel in it?
I predict, in my opinion, it's got to be boxers he's probably getting. He probably
How
says,
much?
I ran out of boxers. I need to go get some boxers.
No, it says right there what he was stealing. It says it right there. Okay, hold on a second.
I know.
I mean, what the hell? I mean, Jesus Christ. Play here. A 2-pack of Polo underwear. How much is Polo underwear?
I bet it's pretty expensive, like everything else has to be expensive.
I mean, a 2-pack of Polo underwear and a bottle of Tester. A bottle of Tester of Gucci Guilty Black Cologne and a 2-pack of Polo underwear. $123? What is this, underwear got freaking steel or gold in it?
Well, Josh said this, drinking too much Jerry Jones juice.
I want to know, how much is a pair of Polo underwear, for Christ's sakes?
I don't know.
Hey, Andrew. A 2-pack pair of Polo underwear and a tester bottle of Gucci Black Cologne. $123. You got it busted for $100. That's just nuts, dude. Come on. You got to be smarter than that. That's crazy. So, he admitted that he did it, so what's going to happen to him now? How many games does he get suspended for?
I'm going to predict and say 2.
2?
I'm going to say 2 or 3. Actually, 2 or 3 games. That's what I'm thinking.
Now, how much is the fine going to be?
I am not sure. That depends on the Dallas Cowboys and the National Football League.
I don't think it depends on the Cowboys. I think it depends on the National Football League.
Wes says cut, and he goes, I heard about that. And Josh said this. He goes, it's probably the cologne that's representing about 80% of the $123.
But Josh, it's a tester bottle. So it wasn't even all the way filled up. It's the tester bottle. When you walk into the malls and the ladies are there, here, smell this, and they spray it. It was a tester freaking bottle. And 2-pack of polo underwear? The hell's this guy wearing? What is this guy wearing? Laced gold polo underwear? How much does freaking polo underwear cost?
Does
$10?
Anybody know? Wes, do you know how much polo underwear costs, or Browning or Josh? How much does it cost?
Unbelievable. I mean, really,
Wes goes,
dude.
I thought those were free.
I mean, unstinking believable.
Well, Josh goes, yes, he's still an idiot, though.
He's making $495. His base salary is $495,000. You can't afford $123 worth of underwear? I got a
Hey,
better.
Adrian. Welcome, bud.
I got a better idea, Randall. Joseph Randall. Don't wear underwear.
Josh says the cops were probably looking for an extra bonus.
Yeah, I'm sure they were looking for an extra bonus. Hey, Joseph Randall, go commando. Go commando. Unbelievable. $123.50 before sales tax. 2-pack of polo underwear and a bottle of tester perfume. Unstinking believable.
Hey, ever since Jerry Jones has been the owner of the Dallas Cowboys since 1989, he's always had to deal with players who have gotten themselves busted for something.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Now he has something to deal with this.
Oh, yeah, and the comments and the Cowboys declined comment. Oh, yeah.
Jerry Jones probably saying, "Oh, it's not a team distraction. We're 5-1."
Cowboys declined comment. So he needs to be suspended for 2 games, and he'll probably get fined probably $10,000, $15,000, huh?
Yep. Adrian, it's fine. I'm just glad you're here, buddy, with school. Congrats on the Baltimore Ravens, but you still know they're not going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Nope.
And you better get your razors ready, buddy, because when I see a shaved bald head, oh, boy, that's going to be a big Christmas present for us.
I'm going to laugh the laugh of the laugh for that one. Oh, and Andrew, just to let you know, buddy, because the Giants lost Sunday, and I had this big, full Grizzly Adam beard going on, I shaved. I'm nice and clean except for my tiny little goatee that's going on.
Clean cut and shaved. There you go.
That's right. Next
Adrian
is
is
my
back.
head.
Let's see. Josh says Skippy Bayless said this, Jeff. Today it wasn't that big of shoplifting incident to talk about it.
It what? No, why? Because it's somebody on his team. That's why he's not going to talk about it. Shows you how much of a homer he really is.
And how much Skippy Bayless thinks he knows everything.
Yeah. He was more concerned of what Stephen A. Smith was wearing on his show than he was talking about his show today. Okay? He said it was no big deal that Randall got busted for shoplifting, right?
Right.
That's what he said, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, in other words, you condone shoplifting, huh, Skip? Huh? You condone shoplifting? Hey, ESPN, you hear that? He's condoning shoplifting. He should be suspended for that.
Skippy Bayless would probably say, well, why do I need to be suspended for it? No, I didn't get in trouble for making an inappropriate comment. I'm just making my own opinion.
Hey, Andrew says the cologne Randall took was $80.
Wow. I have a feeling it probably would be around 80.
So you're telling me that the underwear was $43.50?
That's expensive underwear.
That's real expensive. That's real expensive for 2 pairs of underwear? You're telling me he's wearing $20 pair of underwear?
All right. Yep.
Get the hell out of here. His underwear was $43 and change?
West goes $30. It was used.
If the cologne was $80, right? And he got busted for $123.50, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120 is 40. Plus 3 for the 120 is 43 in the chain. 43.50 for 2 pairs of underwear? Polo's ripping you people off.
Hey, Wes says my underwear is more than that. I believe it. Anybody's, probably my underwear is more than that too.
Polo's ripping you people off. $30 for a pair of underwear? What are you, crazy?
Polo underwear was $40. That's what Browning
For
said.
one pair? What are you, nuts?
Somewhere in Dallas. And Myth goes $43 he stole, $80 cologne, and $43.50 underwear. I'm sure that guy can afford that.
Yeah, he can afford it, but he didn't pay for it. It was $123.50, a bottle of Test cologne and a 2-pack of Polo underwear, $123.50. That's freaking nuts, man.
And he should be a rat bastard candidate. Just pay up your stinking thing. Yeah, it's not that hard. Oh, I forgot my wallet, or I forgot to pay. I'm just going to go shoplifting and get arrested by the police and go hauled away in the pokey for a couple days.
That's freaking hysterical. You know that, right? $40.
I laughed.
$43 for 2 pairs of underwear? You got to be shitting me, man.
Before we go to second commercial break, Wes goes, Roma wants his receivers wearing sexy underwear.
$43 for a 2 pairs of underwear. That's nuts, dude. You know something?
Mm-hmm.
We got to go to break, right? So go to break saying this. It's a good thing I don't have to buy underwear because I don't wear any. I'm commando 24/7. I would never pay $43 for 2 pairs of underwear. On that note, we're going to commercial break. We'll be right back with Jeff Escow Show. Man on
Sports World Radio.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Why does consultant Jerry Howell stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think.
Synergistic integration.
Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. 6 o'clock on the West, 3 o'clock on the East. And if you live in the Central,
figure it out for yourself.
Hey, Sean, are you watching the game?
No.
You don't have the game on TV right now?
No.
Oh. St. Louis has got that weird pitcher in right now. You see that guy, how he pitches? With that sidearm dude?
The sidearm guy?
Yeah, the sidearm guy. Nesrek? How do you pronounce that? Neshek? What the hell is that all about? How do you pronounce that, Sean?
It's a tough one to say.
Neshek. Neshek? Neshek? Shrek? How do you pronounce that?
I don't know.
Nezrick? That guy, you know who he reminds me of? I'm going to go way back, Sean, and you know who's going to like what I'm about to say? You know who he reminds me of when he's pitching?
Who?
Kent DeColvey from the Pittsburgh Pirates. I know you're listening, Wes. But yeah, that's who he reminds me of, Kent DeColvey. He's got that weird sidearm, awful, freaking wacky delivery. That's got to throw a batter off, dude. It's throwing me off just watching him do it. I don't know how a batter's going to be able to. Neshek. That's a weird last name, too. But he pitches weird, man, let me tell you. That guy's freaking pitching like Kent DeColvey. You never
Adrian.
saw. Did you ever see Kent DeColvey? Did you ever see Kent DeColvey pitch, Sean?
No.
No?
Nope.
Hey, Adrian, there's still more than half the season to go, and Sean's only 2 points behind you. I wouldn't get too freaking crazy, you rat bastard.
Yeah, I wouldn't get overconfident, and I would not be very happy. What do you mean, Adrian? I'll tell you what I mean. You're not winning in Kansas City. Your team is a fluke. Maybe that's another reason why you haven't even been here.
He's afraid.
He's afraid, and he knows He knows that the O's are gonna get smashed tonight by the Royals.
Well, even if they don't, it doesn't matter. They're still down a game. Even if the Baltimore Orioles win tonight, they're still down a game.
Adrian, your team is going to lose.
You know what I mean? They're still down a game, you know? You don't want to hear that? Well, tough. Then turn the freaking channel off and stop listening to the show. That's what I can tell you. You don't want to hear it? Tough. You're going to hear it until the end of the show. That's what's going to happen. What's the next topic, Shoney?
All right. The next topic we get to, the Skippy Bayless rant. Here we go.
Oh, boy.
This should be good. Now, here's what Skippy Bayless said. It was a beautiful thing today seeing Stephen A. Smith in a Tony Romo jersey on his birthday.
It kind of was.
He says, don't mess with Texas, my friend. Cowboys or Spurs.
Hey, douchebag, you're not from Texas. You're from Oklahoma. That's first of all. And second of all, you're kind of right. It was kind of funny to see Stephen A. Smith in Dallas garb on his birthday. You're right. It was kind of funny. I have to agree with him. It was kind of funny. And you could see Stephen A. Smith's face. He was so pissed off that he had to do that. So pissed off. And for me, I was laughing the whole time. It was hysterical. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Josh, for sending that to me. Thank you.
Skippy Bayless would probably say, okay, I'm not from Texas. I grew up in Oklahoma, but I live close to Texas, so what's your point?
What your point is? Stop being a freaking homer. You're a sports reporter. You're supposed to be objective. That's my point.
Skippy Bayless said today that the Cowboys will indeed win the ESPY Award for Best Team.
Jeff said today about Skippy that Skippy is an idiot and he says the most stupidest things in the world. How about that? You know, every time he says something, I'm going to say something to contradict him.
Skippy Bayless said today that Jason Garrett is like a young Bill Walsh and growing with the years going by.
Today, Skippy Bayless makes fun of Bill Walsh. Next.
He probably would say, well, what have you got against me for saying good things about the
Because
Cowboys
there's
and how great they're playing?
Because you're sticking Jason Garrett in a category that he's got no reason being in. And you're making statements that are truly idiotic. He is not in the same category as Walsh. He is not in the same category as freaking Bill Parcells. He's not in the same category as freaking Tom Landry. He's not in the same category as freaking Bill Belichick. So just shut up and stop saying that stupid crap. Next.
Skippy Bayless said today that LeBron James would win an NBA champion with the Knicks in the 90s, but not in this generation.
Skippy Bayless makes another moronic. Why do you make a statement like that? Why do you make a statement like that? That's a moronic statement, you idiot. Was he playing in the 90s? Was he playing in the NBA in the 90s?
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. You're a moron. Holy freaking cow. I don't get it. I don't understand why you make stupid, idiotic, moron statements like that when they have nothing to do with going on right now.
Skippy Bayless said today that if Bill Parcells was coach for the Giants, they won't win a Super Bowl. Ooh.
I kind of agree with him. This year, I kind of agree with him.
Skippy Bayless said today that how about this? His San Diego Chargers will give Broncos fit.
What?
He said,
no, I
San
will not
Diego
let. No.
That's what he said.
No, I will not let him do that. No freaking way. You are not allowed to say that because I know damn well that you've never, ever said my Chargers before. Now all of a sudden they're 5-1 and they're your Chargers? No. You will not get away with that, Skippy. No. You've never said that before, and you will never, ever say that again. No freaking way.
There's more to it. He'll give the Broncos fit, so his New England Patriots will come from behind and win the AFC, so the Patriots can take on his Dallas Cowboys.
You're such an idiot. What's going to happen when the Chargers go into Denver and win, and then they play New England and they beat New England Chargers? Huh? What's going to happen then? What are you going to say then, you freaking moron?
His reply would be, I'll just come up with another excuse and I'll come up with another reason.
No, and come up with another team. I told you my Chargers would win.
Yeah, that's what he'll say.
You're such an idiot. There's no way that you cannot claim the Chargers. You cannot claim the Giants when they come around to winning the Super Bowl again because you never have and you never should. You cannot do that. I am not allowing that because that is a freaking bullcrap move.
Skippy Bayless said it was a shame that Phil Jackson didn't coach for the Boston Celtics, for his Boston Celtics.
It's a shame that ESPN employs you. How about that? You like me to? You know what? I'm going to say that. It's a shame. It's a shame that ESPN employs you, Skip Bayless. It's a shame because you say the stupidest things in the world. ESPN, I want to debate Skip Bayless, and I don't even need to prep for him. Whatever he says, I'll debate right on the spot.
That's why Jeff is just saying, when I go to New York, please, ESPN, bring me in so I can take this guy on and teach him the concept of sports.
You got to be kidding me. There's no freaking way that he's allowed to claim the San Diego Chargers. I don't even like him claiming the freaking Kansas City Royals. He's wrong.
Skippy Bayless said last year's Royals remind him of this year's Royals, my Royals remind him of last year's his Boston Red Sox.
Hey, Adrian, the two things that you just wrote in the chat room, if you'd show up to the show, we've already talked about all of that, and we're not going to go back and do it again. We talked about it last week. You just don't come to the show and listen. Go back to the shows and listen. You might get your answer. What did you say, Sean?
He said that my Kansas City Royals this year remind me of my Boston Red Sox from last year.
Oh, he's an idiot. It's my this, my that. Can you say a team without putting the word my in front of it? Can you do that? Can you be objective? Because that's what you're supposed to be. I'm a Knick fan and I'm a Giant fan, and you don't hear me saying my Knicks and my Giants, do you? No, you know why? Because I'm a fan. I don't own the freaking team, and neither do you. The only person that can say my Cowboys is Jerry Jones.
He probably would say, oh, really? I
yes,
can say whatever
really.
I want, and there's not one thing you can do about it. Take me on, S.
I take you on every day. I take you on every day and prove how much of an idiot you really are. I take you on every day on this show and show how much of an idiot and what moronic statements you make every single day.
Skippy Bayless said today that his guy Floyd Mayweather will prove the haters wrong, just like his Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, prove the haters wrong. That's why he's afraid of fighting freaking Manny Pacquiao, right?
Mm-hmm.
I hope that fight goes down, and I hope he says that Floyd Mayweather is going to win, and then when Manny wins, I'm going to be all over him.
Lastly, Skippy Bayless said today that Tony Romo reminds him of Joe Montana.
Oh, no!
And Des Bryant reminds him of Jerry Rice.
He's an idiot. He's an idiot. He is, because Joe Montana, because he doesn't have no freaking Super Bowls. He cannot. He can't even compare Tony Romo to Dan Marino yet. He's won one playoff game. He can't compare Romo to Starback, Aitman, Phil Simms, Steve Young, Joe Montana. He can't compare any of those to Romo. And I'm telling you something right now. If Romo never wins another playoff game and does not get a Super Bowl, he should not be in the Hall of Fame. I'm just telling you right now.
Before we go to the first update,
if he ends his football career with one playoff win and no Super Bowls, how do you put him in the NFL Hall of Fame, huh?
And then Skippy Bayless will come. He'd say this. He goes, "What's going to happen, Escow, when my Dallas Cowboys win the Super Bowl, and you won't have nothing to say in February of next year?"
They're not your Dallas Cowboys. You're not the owner. That's what I could say about that. They're not your Dallas Cowboys. You don't own them. They're not your Cleveland Cavaliers. You don't own them. They're not your Kansas City Royals. You don't own them. And I know damn well you don't own the San Diego Chargers, so you can't say my either there. So, what do you got to say to that? You don't own any of the teams you call mine. You're a fan of those teams. Yes, you're allowed to be a fan. You are a fan, okay? But on the other side of that fan coin is when you go to a game, you sit in the press box. So, therefore, you don't even pay to go to the game. So, really, you're not a fan. You know what you are? You're a sports reporter. And sports reporters are supposed to be objective. That's how you really be a sports reporter. Not my Cowboys, not my Cleveland Cavaliers, not my Kansas City Royals, not my San Diego Chargers. That's not a sports reporter, and neither are you. And on that note, we're running to our first update of the day. This update is brought to you by shirtshopper.net. Head on over to shirtshopper.net and get your T-shirts today. They got all kinds of T-shirts over there, not just sports teams T-shirts, but all kinds of T-shirts from TV shows all the way up to funny sayings. So check out shirtshopper.net today. Take it away, Sean Mann, with the first update of the day.
All right, Jeff. Welcome, everybody. It's World Radio, 47 minutes after the hour. Let's get everybody caught up on what's going on in the wide world of sports. National Hockey League. Tonight's game, the New York Rangers hosting the New York Islanders. Anaheim Mighty Ducks at the Philadelphia Flyers. San Jose Sharks at Washington Capitals. Dallas Stars at Columbus Blue Jackets. Buffalo Sabres taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. Colorado Avalanche at the Toronto Maple Leafs. New Jersey Devils at the Tampa Bay Lightning. Calgary Flames taking on the Nashville Predators. And lastly, it'll be the Edmonton Oilers taking on the Los Angeles Kings. In the NBA, here's the news. Preseason basketball tonight. The New York Knicks at the Philadelphia 76ers. Milwaukee Bucks at the Cleveland Cavaliers. Atlanta Hawks at the Miami Heat. Houston Rockets at the New Orleans Pelicans. And Memphis Grizzlies at Oklahoma City Thunder. In the NFL, Monday Night Football, the final from last night goes to the San Francisco 49ers, 31-17. Week number 6 of the NFL is complete. Week 7 of the NFL starts Thursday night with the New York Jets at the New England Patriots on CBS NFL Network. In Major League Baseball, here's a recap of what we know for the National League Championship Series. The game is in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Giants and the Cardinals are tied at 4. Whoever wins this game goes up 2-1 and is halfway there to a World Series berth. Same goes for another team that is halfway there. That's the Royals, who have a 2-0 lead against the Orioles. They are halfway there to going to the World Series for the first time since 1985. That will be a packed house at Kauffman Stadium. The game time is 8:07 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time. The game is on TBS. That's your update for Sports World on this Tuesday, October 14th, 2014. The update was brought to you by shirtshopper.net. Be right back after the commercial with more sports talk with Jeff Eskow and Sean Mann. And speaking of which, to let everybody know, coming up at the top of the hour, Frank Sprinkle will be here.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too. Don't wait until it's too late.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Eskow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk on the internet. I guarantee you. Hey, don't forget, the big chubby wind is coming in the next hour to talk sports with us. I mean the big cubby wind. I mean the big wind. I mean whatever the hell his name is. Frank Sprinkle coming on in at the top of the hour for the next hour, second hour of the show. We're going to have a lot of fun with Frankie.
Hey, Adrian, I got a thing to tell. I got a bone to pick with you. What's going to happen when the Royals win tonight and then they are winning tomorrow and we're on the air tomorrow and they're getting swept? You won't be showing your face in here.
I won't be here because I have to go home because my mommy told me I can't listen to your show no more because you're too mean to me.
And because of the fact that the Orioles just are getting swept against the hottest team in baseball. You can't tell me, Adrian, that the O's are going to have a chance to win. I'm going to say it. The Royals are winning Game 3 tonight and Game 4. They're the hottest team. You're running into a team that's tough.
Sean's been right about that so far, so I wouldn't go against him. I wouldn't go against him. Hey, you know what, Sean? There's going to be no cheer in Baltimore this year because the Orioles are going to lose this series, and the Ravens aren't going to win the Super Bowl, and then he's going to have to shave his head, so he's not going to be happy this year.
Yeah. That's going to be the most hysterical
He's going to be an
unhappy.
Ever. He's going to be an unhappy camper. I mean, an unhappy camper. You like that one? Unhappy hamper. That's what he's going to be.
And then the misery continues for Baltimore.
Yeah. I mean, Flacco looked really good this week, but who'd they really play? Come on.
They played against the Buccaneers, and I have to tell you, Adrian,
they played the Buccaneers for Christ's sakes.
I believe your team well, they're not your team. The Ravens, to rephrase
The team
that.
that you're a fan.
I'm trying to
the team that you're a fan of.
Fan of the Ravens,
There
since
you
you're
go.
a fan of the Ravens,
There you go.
plays against, I believe it's the Cincinnati Bengals. And I do know and remember that Cincinnati just so happened to have beat the Ravens in week 1. Don't get your hopes up that the Ravens are really, really back. They're really not.
And Pittsburgh, on the other hand, I don't know what the hell's going on there. They're done. You getting ready to snore some wood over there, Wessie? I know you're listening. Hey, Wes, pump that iron. Lift that tote. Come on, pump that iron. Run faster, dude. Are you on the treadmill right now? I know you're listening. Run faster. 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 You got to catch those Pittsburgh Steelers. Faster. Faster. Come on, you can do it. I know you can. You're like the little red engine that could. I know you can. I know you can.
Browning goes 11 years ago today, and I got this posted on as the next topic, really. Hey, Frank, I know you're a Cubs fan, but I'm sure the pain still hurts from 11 years ago with Steve Bartman, the big Cubs fan.
Really? Do we have to go there, really?
I didn't even want to talk about it. I'm sure Bartman, since Steve Bartman gets all the criticism day after day because you ruined my life, you stole the ball away from me.
Hey, Sean, I bet you Josh didn't send it to you today, did he?
No, it was Browning who posted it on my wall.
Exactly. You know why? Because Josh don't want to talk about it. He was there in Chicago when it happened. He don't want to talk about it. Frank don't want to talk about it. And I sure as hell don't want to talk about it. So, Browning, screw you.
And Josh goes, it's the best day in Chicago history. And Frank goes, no, it doesn't. The Cubs lost it for themselves.
You know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about Frank while he can't be on the mic to defend him. Hey, defend himself. Hey, Frank, what happened in the Pick'em League?
Yeah, Frank, what happened in the Pick'em League?
Huh?
Everybody goes, let me in on this second segment.
You stink. You got eaten up alive this week, Frankie boy.
Yep.
You got eaten up alive this week, my friend. I'm looking at the stats. I'm looking at the picks right now. What the hell is Frankie? Frank got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wrong. You got 9 right and 5 wrong. Thank you for the 2 points, Frank. I appreciate it, buddy. You know, Frank, you had a bad performance this week. You got knocked down, way down. What are you in? 7th place now or something like that? I'm waiting for my screen to pop it up.
Listen, it's Adrian. And you don't read aloud when I told you that Joe Flacco threw 4 or 5 touchdowns.
I don't need to read it out loud.
He made history.
I don't need to read it out loud. I seen it. I saw what you read. I don't need to read it out loud. I don't care if he made freaking history. Don't mean he... Hey, just because he made history don't mean that they're going to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, get your razors ready there, Adrian, because when that happens, you're going to be having a bald head, and there's going to be kids you're going to be walking around not even wanting to show yourself.
Hey, Frank.
You lost to the host of Sports World Radio.
Hey, Frank, you're 1 point ahead of me. You're in 7th place. I'm in 8th place. You got 56. I got 55. Next week, I'm taking you over. I'll be ahead of you next week. And Schmedley, Encyclopedia Man, I'm coming after you people next. And then
I'm ganging up on Adrian. I'm trying to get after him.
And then take it over. We're going to have me, Schmedley, the producer, and Frank all in the top 4, and you'll be number 5 by the time we're done with the end of the year.
Browning goes, I'm behind Kenny C.
Browning?
That's what he said.
Where's
He's behind
Kenny C? Where's Kenny C? I'm looking for Kenny. Oh, Kenny. Yeah, you are. You're way down there. Kenny's in 13th place. You in 14th place. Gary, one-armed bandit, is in 17th place. You're bringing up the rear, Gary. Way to go.
58 minutes after the hour. Hey, Adrian, start saving up your money for the razor blades.
That's right. I want to see that video. I want to see the video of your head being buzzed off and then shaved. I'm going to post that thing right on Sports World Radio for the millions and the masses to see.
And you know what, Adrian? When that happens, then you'll be saying, next time I'll just learn how to keep my mouth shut.
That's right. I love little boys when they open up their mouth like that and take a bet. See, nobody else wants to bet with me.
Double A still gets a laugh out of it.
Hey, Double A, bet me I shaved my face, man.
Mr. Clean coming to a prom near you. Thank you, Josh.
Who said that?
Funny.
Josh said that? Who said that?
Yeah. Josh says, Mr. Clean coming to a school near you.
That's great. That's great. Hey, let's run to our commercial break, top of the hour break, and we'll get Frank on here, and we'll have some fun with him. Listening to Jeff Escow and Sean Mann on SportsWorldRadio.com every 6 o'clock p.m., every 3 o'clock p.m., and if you live in the Central,
If you live in the Central, figure it out for yourself.
damn Skippy. We'll be right back after this quick break with Jeff Escow and Sean Mann on
Sports World Radio.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too. Don't wait until it's too late.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, and now, the one and only, the big hair, the chubby cubby, Mr. Frank Sprankle. What's up?
Dude, you called me chubby. That's insulting to me.
The chubby cubby.
Dude, you know I exercise 6 days a week. I eat right. Trust me, if we had a shirt-off contest, I'd beat you easily.
You get the hell out of here. Who are you kidding, dude?
Well, welcome back from
Who
the
are you?
commercial, everybody.
Really?
It
Who
is
do you think you're kidding? Really? Who do you think you're freaking kidding? Really? Okay?
Who am I kidding? I'm speaking from the truth.
How tall are you?
What?
How tall are you?
6'1".
And how much do you weigh?
190.
Well, I got you beat.
Welcome back.
I weigh 145, so I win.
Welcome back, everybody. 7:02 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 4:02 p.m. Pacific. We got Frank Sprankle here with us. Frank, let's get to the first topic here. We're going to go to baseball playoffs tonight on TBS. Game 3 of the American League Championship Series starts tonight with the Royals up 2-0. Jeff, Frank, what are your thoughts tonight? Kauffman Stadium going to be loud and rocking again.
Oh, boy, Kauffman Stadium, what can you say? I can probably feel it right now. Here we are an hour away from first pitch. It is starting to rock, and I got to tell you guys something. Reggie Jackson may have had the title of Mr. October, but what we have seen from the Royals in the divisional series against the Angels in games 1 and 2 with the go-ahead homers and extra innings, what we saw Friday night in game 1 against Baltimore, I got to say this. The Royals have become Team October. Reggie Jackson, Mr. October, Kansas City Royals, Team October, because they are coming through in the clutch and they are finding ways to win ball games.
That's exactly the point there, Frank. Good point there, buddy, because look at it, Jeff. When you've watched the Royals and you've seen how they have played, it's always been the late innings of the games to get it done for the Kansas City Royals. They're just impressive. They know how to get it done in the clutch every time the game is tied. And here's another thing I've noticed. Every time it seems like even going back against the A's or the Angels or even against the O's, they feel like they've had a chance to win the game. The Royals never go away. They are the biggest story in baseball. Book it tonight. The Royals take a 3 games to none lead. I'm sorry, Adrian. Your team does not have what it takes to beat this Kansas City Royals team. You lost home field advantage. How are they going to do in the Big K? It's going to be rocking tonight.
I just want to know if with what has happened in Baltimore over the last 2 games, what has this done psychologically for the Orioles? Can they even win one of these games in Kauffman Stadium?
I don't see it happening.
I said, hold on, but didn't I say coming into this series, right before it began, that the Royals were going to win in 5? The Royals are going to win this series. The question is, will it be 5 or will it be a clean sweep come tomorrow afternoon?
Jeff, what do you think?
I think it's gonna. I think they're gonna sweep them.
And it will be an afternoon game tomorrow, by the way. Game 4 of the ALCS is tomorrow afternoon.
On TBS, yep.
Yeah,
it's all on Turner Sports TBS.
The San Francisco Giant game, that's going to be tomorrow night?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that game is on Fox Sports 1, and that's the primetime game. A little confusing with the fact that you had Game 3 rained out last night. And Buck Showalter was asked yesterday, as the game was rained out in Kansas City, what does this mean, an extra day of rest? And he said absolutely nothing. I'm sure the Baltimore Orioles kind of wish they could have just played this game and gotten it over with, but what hurts for them is that they got to wait an extra day considering they are down 0-2. And also, people have talked about the Orioles bullpen. It has been pretty solid all season long. Hasn't been quite solid against the Royal Bats over these last couple of games. Let me tell you that. It's been a whole world of difference compared to these first 2 games of the ALCS and the sweep against the Tigers in the divisional series.
And here's what Adrian says. I understand what you're saying, Sean. The Royals are a very great team, best in the MLB right now, but there can always be a big upset. I would not get your hopes up, Adrian. If the Orioles are to make the comeback and get back in this series, they have to take 2 out of 3 to get back to Baltimore. I don't see it happening. The Royals have been very tough at home in the postseason. And that was the biggest question, Frank and Jeff, coming into it, was could the Royals, who have really kind of struggled at home all year this year, win in the postseason at home? Right now we've seen it. They have not lost one postseason game. Ever since they came back and beat the Oakland A's in the play-in game, it's been a different result in the postseason. Crowd has been loud. The Royals been working the pitch count up on the opposing pitchers. I just don't see it happening with the Orioles coming back.
They've been finding ways. They've been finding ways to win. And you look at the National League Championship Series, and by the way, they're in the 10th inning right now, 4-4 tie. It's amazing. The Giants with 4 runs all coming the first inning, but if you take a look at the Royals and the Cardinals, the 2 representatives in the National League and American League Championship Series, respectively, out of the Show Me State, you're talking about a couple of teams here that are playing with a lot of heart, a never say die mentality here. And that is what we're seeing from the Royals, and that is what we're seeing from the Cardinals. I mean, I talked about this with Nicholas Spiva yesterday morning on Press Row Central. If you look at Game 1, Giants shut out the Cardinals Saturday night. Game 2, they had to fight tooth and nail. And the Giants, they played, I think, good enough to win Game 2 on Sunday night. But the
Cardinals had a chance, yep.
Yeah, I think they played very well. Just the fact is, the Cardinals, they came through with the lawn bats. Colton Wong, the leadoff homer off Sergio Romo in the bottom half of the 9th inning. These are teams that have a never say die mentality. And quite honestly, I think that's going to I predicted before these league championship series started, I predicted the Show Me Series 2.
And going to the NLCS, when you think about this series between the Cardinals and the Giants, Cardinals are hungry. They want to beat the Giants so bad, Frank, because you remember what happened 2 years ago? The Cardinals have a 3-game lead against the Giants. San Francisco came back and won the series in 6 games. And then they went on and swept the Detroit Tigers in the 2012 Fall Classic.
Right. And another thing, too, about these league championship series, I think being the fact that we have seen over the last 4 years now, it's either been Giants or Cardinals. You mentioned 2012. Giants and Cardinals playing each other, and this is the second time in 3 seasons. I think many people want to see something new here, and that's what you get with the American League Championship Series. The Royals, this is a team that's not publicized a lot. The Orioles, I will say, they are semi-publicized, considering that they do play in that AL East with the likes of the Yankees and the Red Sox. Understand, we saw the Cardinals in the World Series last year. We saw the Giants win the World Series 2 years ago. We've seen them over the last decade. They've been in quite a few World Series titles. They've even won a few of them. I mean, the Giants, they've won 2 World Series titles over the last few years. The Cardinals, they've won a couple World Series as well. They were in it last year against your Red Sox, Sean. But understand this. It's been 1983 and 1985, respectively, since the last time the Orioles and Royals both won the World Series, much less were in the World Series.
The Royals are a better team than the Orioles because, one, they played them in the season series, beat them 4-3. So that's I know season doesn't matter, but when the teams do meet in the postseason, it's the games that count.
Yeah,
but,
and any team could beat any team on any given night. You know that as well as I do.
Wait. This isn't about the regular season. When we talk about the New York Giants in 2007 and 2011.
It doesn't matter. Listen, the Giants this could go freaking 7 games. Any team can beat any other team on any given night, and you guys know that as well as I do.
But we see that in the National Football League quite a bit. That's why I mentioned, okay, well, let's talk about the Giants, about your New York Giants, the New England Patriots, and the 2 Super Bowls. I mean, especially the first one. Well, all right, let's talk about the first one. Perfection was at stake for your Patriots in Glendale, Sean. But the New York Giants, Jeff, your favorite NFL team, they went into Glendale and they ruined what could have been not only a 4th Super Bowl title, but history, being the second undefeated team in the Super Bowl era. Anybody can be beat. You're right.
And upsets do happen in sports. Think about the Angels, kind of going back to it. I know it's in the past, but the Angels are probably thinking to themselves, it had to be overconfidence. It had to be overconfidence that we could not beat the Kansas City Royals.
I don't think it was overconfidence.
Was big in that series.
I don't think it was overconfidence. I just think the Kansas City Royals outplayed them.
You're right. Outplayed them with pitching. They out-hit them. Remember, season series 3-3, so the Angels knew that very well coming in against them. And everybody knew and everybody thought, oh, that's a cakewalk. The Angels will easily take care of the Royals. Jeff and I disagreed because we said, no. The Royals have all the confidence in the series against the Angels, and you saw just that. Just like now they're taking down the number 2 seed, the Baltimore Orioles, who have not gotten the clutch hits. They have been in both games, but they have lost because, think about it too with the Orioles. They have left so many men on base. I noticed it in game 2. Bases loaded with 1 out. They had a chance to get a big clutch hit. Didn't happen, and that's what cost them the game. Pretty much might cost them the series if they can't get the clutch hits, which I don't see happening.
Well, right now it's the bottom of the 10th. San Francisco's got a man on first with no outs.
Right, I got the game on right now. Nobody outs. As a matter of fact, I can see the entire diamond. I'm watching the Fox Sports 1 broadcast. Mike Matheny's passing the signs along. But, yes, I mean, this has been a great series, too. I understand people don't have a lot of interest, I think, in the Giants. Well, I actually, let me take that back. I think people do have interest in the NLCS between the Giants and Cardinals, but they don't want to talk about it because they are wrapped up in this love affair of having the Kansas City Royals as one of the Final 4.
Right, and
Correct.
You think about it, too. It's been 29 years since that last matchup in the World Series, and Jeff's dream of a Kansas City-St. Louis Fall Classic very close to happening. And I can tell you, I can only imagine what Don Denkinger is thinking like, wow, who would have ever thought that the Royals and the Cardinals would be meeting in the Fall Classic? Because he was like saying, and he remembers how he got so many nasty threats from the public because he missed a call where the Royal was ruled safe when he called him safe, when in fact replay showed he was out. I can just imagine that he's going to be asked that before the series starts.
You know what I think Don Denkinger is thinking? Why couldn't I have been an umpire in 2014 where instant replay existed?
Yeah,
that's probably what he's thinking. Why couldn't I have been an umpire in 2014 the inaugural year of instant replay, then my life would have been considerably easy. I would have not been viewed as a person of hatred in St. Louis.
Jeff, do you remember that with Don Dankinger in the 85 Fall Classic?
No, I don't. No, things like that I don't remember.
Jim Joyce has had some nasty sayings happen to him, so it's a part of the game. You realize we're all human.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about what happened in Detroit a few years back?
Yes, Cleveland, Detroit, and he called him safe, and then he got blasted.
So?
Wait.
I know
umpires Armando Galarraga's perfect game, missed perfect game.
Well, you know who my favorite.
Hold on. Here's the thing. Jim Joyce was very regretful of it. He admitted after the game he made a mistake. And guess what? You know what happened the following day? Major League Baseball would not honor the perfect game. They knew a mistake had made, but they realized that, you know what? It was a call by the umpire, granted a mistake, so we have to reward it a hit, and sure enough, they did. But do you know what happened the following day was an afternoon game? Jim Joyce and Armando Galarraga came out of the Tigers dugout in 2010 with the lineup card to Jim Joyce. Joyce got a huge standing ovation. Huge. People, he was going to the airport, and people were saying, look, don't beat yourself up over it. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Here's another thing, too, about Galarraga. Did you know General Motors presented him I don't know what Chevrolet it was, but they presented him a car?
For what? Almost pitching a no-hitter?
No-hitter, almost pitching a perfect game.
Almost pitching a perfect game?
They gave him a Chevrolet. I don't remember what car it was. It was a nice Chevrolet, but they gave him a Chevrolet. Yes, they did.
Almost pitching a perfect game.
When we get back from this commercial break, I'll just say referees, officials, and umpires, they make mistakes. We're human. They're not supposed to be perfect. There's going to be calls that are going to be missed, but yet there's going to be public out there saying, you screwed up my life. How can you miss that call?
Hey, Jeff, before we go to break, can I ask you a question?
Uh-huh.
What do you think of the name Joey Crawford?
I can't stand that guy. You know who my favorite referee or umpire is of all time?
Who?
Ron Luciano.
Many years? Oh, I remember Ron. Many years as an NL ump.
Yes.
How about NFL? How about Ed Hockley?
Screw him too.
The muscles.
Yeah, and his son is now a referee in the NFL. Yeah,
but I don't think he quite has the muscles that his dad has.
Yeah, that's so funny. Hey, we're gonna run to a commercial break. You listen to Jeff Escow, Show Man, and Frank Frankel on
Sports World Radio.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Stay fire safe this winter. Turn portable heaters off when you go to bed or leave the room. Keep anything that can burn at least 3 feet away. Plug portable heaters directly into wall outlets. Inspect and replace damaged cords, broken outlets, or loose connections. Use portable heaters with an automatic shutoff so that if they tip over, they turn off. Only use portable heaters approved by a recognized testing laboratory. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association's START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Be fire safe during the holidays. Only use decorations that are non-flammable or flame retardant. Check holiday lights each year for frayed wires or excessive wear. And do not link more than 3 strands. Never leave a burning candle unattended. Consider using battery-operated flameless candles which look and smell like real candles. If your celebration includes a natural tree, keep it away from any heat source or exit. Water your tree daily to keep it from becoming dry. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov.
What kind of person gets to work in the sunshine instead of an office? This kind of person. I am the new way to work. I do have an office. I'm just not chained to it. It's a Regis office at one of the nicest addresses in the city. I don't have a lease, so I don't have to budget for stuff like phones, IT guys, and artwork for the lobby. Instead, I pay one low monthly rate that gives me a beautiful lobby that impresses my clients, a friendly receptionist, a fully furnished office, a place to meet, and a place to brainstorm with my fellow New Way to workers. We wonder why more people don't realize that the new way to work is the best way to work. I come here because I want to, not because I have to. I am the new way to work, and I'd like you to join me.
Start now and get 1 month free. Call 1-800-OFFICES or visit regis.com/TV.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escott, Sean Mann, the big win. Frank Sprankle with us here in the second hour of every Tuesdays and Thursdays show. Sean, what do you got?
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Like Jeff said, 19 minutes after the hour, I am with Frank Sprankle. A final, everybody. The San Francisco Giants have pulled it out, and now they lead 2-1. Frank, real quickly, can the Giants win 2 more games and finish off the National League champion Cardinals?
Anything's possible, Sean, but I did say the Cardinals were going to win this series in 6. I am confident that the Cardinals can win the next 2. Let's understand this. This is a team that responded not so in kind. They fought their way in game 2. Certainly the Giants can win this series, but I think the Cardinals have potential to win this series. I think it's going to be a deep series, and the Cardinals are going to win it.
I wonder, too, if the Giants and the Cardinals has become the new rivalry. They haven't really met a lot for postseason history, but if this is becoming a new rivalry between these 2 teams.
Well, here's what I said as far as the National League is concerned over the last 5 seasons. The San Francisco Giants and the St. Louis Cardinals have become clearly the 2 superpowers of the National League. It's kind of what we saw a decade plus ago with your Red Sox, Sean, and the Yankees. Those were the 2 superpowers of the American League. Now you take a look at the superpowers of the National League. Clearly, with what we've seen the last few years, it's Giants and Cardinals. So I think, yeah, to a point, it is a rivalry. Maybe not quite the tradition of what the Cardinals have with the Chicago Cubs or with what the Giants have with the Los Angeles Dodgers. But when you think fall, when you think October, you think of the Giants, you think of the Cardinals when it comes to National League playoff pictures here.
All right, we get to the next topic here, 21 minutes after the hour. Today was a day that Chicago fans will never, ever forget for Chicago Cub fans.
Unless you were a White Sox fan.
For a Cubs team that was leading the series 3-2 against the underdog Florida Marlins, the Chicago Cubs were 5 outs away, ladies and gentlemen, from going to the World Series. It turns out it just got to being a nightmare for Cubs fans. Frank, you're a Cubs fan. Does it still hurt 11 years to this day?
No, it doesn't hurt. It was frustrating, but I'm not going to fault one particular individual, and I'm not even going to mention that individual's name because there have been documentaries on this individual. This guy was just an innocent spectator, and by the way, thou shalt cast the first stone. I mean, as we could see Moises Alou in the 8th inning. He was heading in towards the stands. Do you know how many other hands there were? Huh? Do you know how many other hands there were in the vicinity? Come on, tell me.
There were a lot of hands reaching for that foul ball, and when that happened, everybody started screaming at Bartman. I watched the 30 for 30 documentary.
Okay, hold on. But there were other hands. That's my point. Thou shalt cast the first stone, Sean.
Yeah, well, you know what? There were a lot of hands. The Cubs had the momentum. Bernie Mac, the late, great Bernie Mac from the Bernie Mac Show was saying, take me out to the ball game. The confidence was there. People were partying. They could feel the World Series right there, but it just ended in a nightmare.
It was just a silly, stupid foul ball. It was.
I was
big stinking deal. You know what? You just continue with the at-bat.
Well, think of it this way. It reminds me, and I wasn't alive for this. You remember seeing it, Frank, Josh, Adrian, Jeff, everybody. I said Bartman took lots of expletive, just like Buckner from October of 1986. Mistakes happen from players. We're human. We're not perfect. That's why I mentioned that the Denkinger play was another example of that. And then people get to be the GOAT and get to be treated, and then they expletive you screwed up everything. And it's, well, that's the way I look at it. Like, I remember I've seen the Buckner documentaries and Red Sox fans complaining, sorry for being the homer, but I got to bring it up, saying this guy said, we've been waiting for decades for the Red Sox to win, and this player lets the ball go through his legs. Bill Buckner can, stuff like that.
Wait,
it's the same thing with Bartman. He was getting all the negativity, and he still does to this day. And you just wait. Cubs win a World Series, fans will say, we forgive Steve Bartman. That's exactly what happened in 04.
Okay, well, should John McNamara have allowed Bob Stanley to pitch to Mookie Wilson? I'm just saying there's look, when it comes to a particular loss in a big game, you could look at factors leading up or after the fact. There were other factors to that game, Sean. I'm talking about Game 6 of the 86 World Series.
Yes, there were other factors.
There was a wild pitch.
There was wild pitch. Red Sox left men on base. I've read about it. I've studied about it. Same thing kind of goes for the Cubs. They went up 3-0. Could have been up a lot more. And remember this, too. There was still Game 7.
There was 5 outs to go. You're right.
Yeah, there was for the Red Sox in 1986. They still battled the Mets hard in Game 7. Same thing goes for the Chicago Cubs. They knew after they lost, they had to say, look, there's still Game 7. We can still win this thing. And they did make it a battle, but they ended up losing 9-6 to the Marlins. And I know for Cub fans, it's been painful. They have never recovered from it because after that, downhill.
Okay, well, let me tell you something. Yeah. Sean, can I say this? Because this is very important I make this point. First of all, I want to mention 2 points here. Alex Gonzalez booted a few at-bats later. He booted what could have been a force out at second, possibly a double play. That was an error on Alex Gonzalez's part at short.
Yep.
So why don't we fault Alex Gonzalez? Why don't we fault Dusty Baker for his poor job of managing? He should have gone to his bullpen. For that matter, he should have gone to his starters in the bullpen. He should have used the stops. He did not. Oh, yeah. Aren't we also forgetting the fact, too, that the Cubs lost in Miami in Game 5?
They lost in Game
5. They had 3 chances to win. 3.
And I can tell you, Frank and Jeff, after they lost Game 5, my first thought was, hey, Cubs did what they had to do. They took 2 out of 3. Get ready for a big party in Chicago. The Cubs will be in the World Series. Because I had every belief that when they went back home, they could go back home and they could win Game 6 at home against the Marlins. And they were up 3-0, and the Cub fans had felt that the party was on, but then they just let it slip by. And, Jeff, do you remember that with Steve Bartman in the Cubs game when they blew that, and then he got to be the GOAT for all these years?
Yeah.
All right, can I say this? Because there was something that you guys probably aren't aware. Well, maybe you did see the Bartman documentary on ESPN, right?
Yes, I did. I saw the
there is something. All right, there's something many people may not be aware of here. After Game 6, Moises Alou, who of course tried to make the catch but couldn't, him and Aramis Ramirez we're both talking about, well, what happens if we don't win tomorrow night being Game 7? Should we book flights just in case? That tells me that you didn't deserve to win, because if you are booking flights for, well, just in case that we're not going to win the 7th game, that tells me you don't have any confidence that you're going to win. And to that point, then if you don't have any confidence, you don't deserve to win. So quite honestly, the Chicago Cubs, and it hates me to say this, being a fan, didn't deserve to win that series because, let's see, you had the blame be it. You couldn't get the job done after the fact. You had Aramis Ramirez and Moises Alou booking a flight home after Game 6 when there was still a Game 7 to play. The Cubs got what they deserved.
They did, and there were a lot of other factors, and that's what ended up happening. And I wanted it to be, in 03, Red Sox and the Cubs, and it turns out that did not happen. That did not happen. And that's the biggest factor. Now, the next topic we get to, with this month of October coming up and with baseball playoffs beginning, it has been 25 years since the earthquake from San Francisco, California.
By the way, you're mentioning the earthquake. Can I give you a footnote here, Sean? This is very important, but ESPN is going to air tonight. I'm going to DVR it, but they are airing a 30 for 30 about the 1989 earthquake tonight.
Would it have been a quarter century later, close to being the Giants and the A's in the World Series, which would have been the first time since that tragic and sad time in history with the earthquake? Jeff Frank, do you remember where you were when that happened in October of 1989?
Who wants to go first? All right, I'll
Frank?
go first. I'll tell you what
Frank,
I was
go ahead.
doing. Let's understand this. The Giants had actually defeated the Cubs in 5 games to get to the World Series. It was the Giants depended in the NLCS over the Cubs. I remember watching that game because I was home from school. It was Columbus Day Monday, the Illinois school system. We were able to get that day off as a holiday. So I was actually home. And I know this is preceding the fact here, but I was actually at home watching Game 5. It was a Monday afternoon, Columbus Day, watching the game on NBC. Sure enough, the Cubs lost that game in San Francisco. They played the A's. The A's had already won the American League pennant by then. And this was the first home game for the Giants since they had defeated the Cubs in that 5th game of the NLCS. And for me, it was a little difficult because here I'm seeing Candlestick Park for the first time since the Giants defeated my Cubs. Well, sure enough, I did have ABC's broadcasts on the air. There were 2 televisions in our house. Well, actually 3. There was a small black and white portable in the kitchen, but there was one in the living room. The other one was in my parents' bedroom. They both had cable, and I remember being up by myself in my parents' bedroom. My dad had not arrived home yet. I was in 2nd grade. I obviously had school the next day, but it was a little after 7 o'clock. And remembering ABC's coverage, and you can hear Tim McCarver going over a highlight in Game 2, and you can hear Tim McCarver saying take a, and you hear Al Michaels saying, "I'll tell you what, we're having an earth." And before you know it, he didn't even have a chance to finish the sentence, which was Quake as attached to that. And then I remember seeing a graphic with Al Michaels coming on over what was a phone line. And then I remember ABC going to an episode of Roseanne before there was news coverage of the earthquake. So I do remember that night very well, Sean. I remember it like it was last night, to tell you the truth.
It's a very sad event indeed, and I'm going to get Jeff's thoughts about this. We have to run to the second and final update and commercial break. This update is brought to you by Keurig.coffeemachines.com. Need some coffee? Need something to drink? Go over and have something from Keurig.coffeemachines.com. Here's our update, and we're ready to go. Welcome, everybody, to the last and final update for Sports World Radio on this Tuesday, October 14th, 2014. Let's get everybody caught up on what's going on in NFL. Monday Night Football. It went to the San Francisco 49ers 31-17 against the St. Louis Rams. The Rams were down 14-0, but the 49ers were able to prevail and take the game. Week number 6 of the NFL has concluded. Week 7, Thursday night. In Major League Baseball playoffs, one final has happened. The San Francisco Giants prevail, protect their home field advantage. They win by a score of 5-4. Means that the Giants are halfway there to going to the Fall Classic, which was 2012. Can they win 2 more games, or will the Cardinals even up the series tomorrow night when Game 4 happens? Another game that starts in 28 minutes, the Orioles and the Royals. Right now, the Royals have a 2-0 lead against the Baltimore Orioles. Very simple in this series. Royals win, they go up 3-0 against the Orioles. Orioles win, it's a series, then it's 2-1. Game is on TBS, 8:07 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time. In the National Hockey League, the Islanders and the Rangers, they're tied up at 1. Mighty Ducks lead 1-0 against the Flyers. Sharks over the Capitals 3-0. Stars over Blue Jackets 2-0. Those 2 games are in the first period. Sabres at Hurricanes, Avalanche at Maple Leafs, Devils at Lightning, Flames at Predators, and the Oilers taking on the Kings. In the NBA preseason action tonight, the Knicks lead the 76ers 15-10, Cavaliers 25, Bucks 15. Hawks at Heat, Rockets at Pelicans, and Grizzlies at Thunder. That's your update for Sports World Radio, the last one. Update was brought to you by KeurigCoffeeMachines.com. When we come back from the commercial break, more sports talk with Jeff Eskow, Frank Sprankel, and myself, Sean Mann. Be right back after commercial.
Why does consultant Jerry Howell stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think. Synergistic integration. Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Eskow, Sean Mann, Frank Sprankel, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk on the internet. I guarantee it. Every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West. And if you live in the Central,
5 p.m.
Figured out for yourself,
oh,
and he
man.
got me there.
He was quick, man. He right as I got the other part out, he was waiting with that 5 p.m. He was right there waiting. So before we went to break, these two jamokes were talking about
Wait, what's
the
a
earthquake.
jamoke?
The earthquake from 1989, right? 1989?
1989, October 17th of that year.
Well, you said you didn't get to see what happened because they went to a Roseanne thing?
Well, I did know. I didn't get to see listen, I did not get to see the earthquake live. Here's what happened. ABC had the World Series in 1989. They were on the air with the with the introduction in which you have
Right.
the on-air announcers, but they were showing highlights, and Tim McCarver was speaking, and it was a Game 2 highlight across the bay in Oakland, and obviously McCarver is feeling something shaking. He's saying, take a, and then Al Michaels comes in, and he says, I'll tell you what, I think we're having an earth. And then all of a sudden, black. ABC goes entirely black, and then a few seconds later, I don't know how many seconds, but within probably a half minute, there's a graphic World Series with the ABC bug below.
Correct.
And Al Michaels is on a phone line, jokingly. Of course, little did anybody know what was taking place.
Correct.
Within the vicinity of Candlestick at the time.
Correct. I got the same feed that you guys got, but I never but then you got to remember, I was in San Diego at the time, so we got multiple coverage.
Let me ask you this.
Multiple
and
channel
say a
coverage.
Things too. Did you, Jeff, feel any aftershocks?
No.
Okay.
No.
Or you didn't feel the quake?
No. Well, I live South California, and that happened in Northern California. So it's like.
But it was a strong quake. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, but it's not going to travel all the way down to San Diego. It's got to go through San Fernando Valley. It's got to go through all. It's never going to.
Because I figured you'd feel the remnants of it. Maybe like just small tremors.
Maybe 5 or 6 days later we had aftershakes that I didn't really feel. It could have possibly happened, but I didn't feel them.
All right, yeah, you might have felt some. You might have had some of the at the time the quake hit. You might have felt it in San Diego. You might have had it affect you guys in San Diego. The thing is, you were that far south and away from the Bay Area that you didn't feel it.
Oh, dude, we're a 2-hour flight away from the Bay Area. What does that tell you?
You know, it's also interesting too. The World Series was delayed 10 days. It was delayed 12 days, if I remember correctly. 12 days.
Yeah, that's correct. And here
it
was a warm Tuesday afternoon in the Bay Area. This is the topic.
Tuesday afternoon.
At Candlestick Park, there were 58,000 fans. The San Francisco Giants were getting ready for their first home World Series game, Frank, in 27 years.
And you know what happened? It just started to shake.
63 people lost their lives on that tragic day that happened in San Francisco.
It just started shaking.
From my understanding, everybody that was in the ballpark, and this lasted 15 seconds.
Frank, you ever been in an earthquake?
After the quake happened, you know what everybody did? They stood up and cheered.
You ever been in an earthquake, Frank?
Yes, I have been in one small earthquake. But let me tell you something. 3 years later, August of 1992, I did have a chance to visit San Francisco. For anybody that has been to San Francisco, in order to get from the airport to downtown San Francisco, you have to go past, where Candlestick Park was. They're obviously in the process of demolishing it. But in order to get from the airport to downtown San Francisco, you do drive past Candlestick Park.
Correct.
And I'll tell you, obviously going to San Francisco 3 years later, August of 1992, I'll be honest, thinking back to what happened in October of 1989, it did make me nervous. But I couldn't have felt more nervous than when we drove on the Bay Bridge. Because when we drove on that Bay Bridge on that night in August of 1992, and it was cool in San Francisco, cool at the time, I got this sick feeling in my stomach thinking back of what happened 3 years earlier.
Well, I was here in San Diego when it happened. So when it happened for the baseball game, the news channels in San Diego picked it up, and we started getting news feeds, and we were watching stuff. So I knew exactly what was going on the whole time.
Right. All the networks had it. In Chicago, all the networks did carry the local stations carried the network coverage. Even WGN TV did break into what was a movie that night.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Hey, I'm sitting here getting ready for the Royals-Orioles game, and they're showing Guthrie warming up and getting ready for the Orioles, and I'm just sitting there looking at Guthrie, and I'm going, damn, he looks a lot like Zach Greinke.
By the way,
Zach Greinke
I just want to mention one thing about the earthquake. Don't forget, tonight on ESPN, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. for you guys out in the West. There is a new 30 for 30. It's going to air tonight, and it's about the earthquake.
He looks like Zach Greinke. Look at him. He looks like Zach Greinke. I bet you Zach Greinke misses Kansas City now, don't you, bitch?
How about this? How about this when you think about it? It was a rough summer for the national pastime in 1989. On the 70th anniversary of the Black Sox scandal, new commissioner Bart Giamatti banned Pete Rose from baseball for gambling transgressions. Just a few weeks after the punishing, the game's all-time hit leader, Giamatti, who had been on the job for only 5 months, died of a heart attack while vacationing at Martha's Vineyard and was succeeded by Fay Vincent. Vincent made all the hard decisions in the moments and days after the World Series earthquake. So it was a very rough time in 1989, Frank.
Indeed, it was. I remember. Well, Pete Rose, of course, he was.
Oh yeah,
I remember watching it. I remember Pete Rose, the press conference in which Bart Giamatti had right before he died, announcing the banishment of Pete Rose.
Hey Frank,
and that was on every television network. It wasn't just on ESPN. Every television network carried it.
Hey Frank, you want to know something?
I want to know a lot of things. What is it, buddy?
You and I are the only ones that were born and alive to see that between Josh and Sean.
I was in 87, so I was only a little 2-year-old.
I watched it live. It was a morning press conference. I would like to say it was 8 o'clock in the morning, and all of the networks did carry the press conference. And I want to say this. A month ago, remember, guys, we watched the Olbermann we watched Oberman on ESPN and him saying that it's time to let Pete Rose back into the game. It's time to let Pete Rose back into baseball. And Bud Selig is currently the commissioner of Major League Baseball until January. He can exercise through his powers from now until the time he leaves to let Pete Rose back into baseball. And I hope that he does that before he leaves.
He's not going to.
Well, then it's going to have to be up to Rob Manfred.
He already said he's not going to.
The next day we talk about this topic.
Hold on, Sean, hold on. Josh was born in 1994. Are you kidding me?
Well, that was the worst year. 1994. That was the worst year of baseball.
1994? Oh, my God.
Josh, can I say this? Did you know the Cubs did have, as part of their Wrigley Field Centennial, various turn back the clock uniform games, and I was at the 1994 one against the Orioles?
You missed all the good stuff before you were born, buddy.
I saw, by the way, I do have a 1994 Cub jersey, Josh.
So
it doesn't fit me anymore, but I have one.
I would say, going back to this topic, that this was the biggest tragedy that baseball had faced, this and 9/11. But how about this? The MLB commissioner had decided to interrupt for a full 10 days. He goes, quote, "It's a difficult time for San Francisco and the whole Bay Area," said Vincent. "It's a great tragedy and coincides with our modest little event." The commissioner was asked if he had been bothered when the NFL played its full schedule of games 2 days after President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in 1963, and he said he did not remember being offended.
He's always got to get Kennedy. He's always got to drop Kennedy on the show. He always does.
Wait. He
Always
hasn't dropped
JFK,
always something about the Kennedy family on every show.
He's
I've done a
always
number of shows with you. He very seldom drops, at least when I'm on.
He drops JFK as much as he possibly can. He's got an infatuation with that family.
Okay, maybe he does, but he doesn't bring it out often on this show.
He's got an infatuation with that family, man.
He's very encyclopedia. He's an encyclopedia when it comes to the Kennedy family.
No, I know that. And you know what? And I tell Sean this all the time, and it's not a dig at him. It's actually a compliment. Sean's an old soul. Sean wishes he was born back then. He really does.
I'll be honest, I think
he's an old soul.
Sean, I think you could be the Kennedy family biographer.
I think. Well, he's pretty good at it. I don't think he's the best, but he's pretty damn good at it. He's big into JFK. He knows a lot.
Thanks for the compliment.
Yeah. I think you can, dude. I really think you can. I think you really are, too. You're an old soul. You love history. You just love it. You're an old soul, brother.
So do I. I love watching history. I'll be honest. If it's not sports, then I prefer watching the history channels or the various other channels like the Smithsonian channel I have on my Xfinity cable.
If you're a friend of his on Facebook,
I'm a friend of everybody's.
Well, not on mine. You're not. Not Sean's, are you?
We talk quite a bit, and we also get to understand too. We love watching sports, but we also love watching. I'll be honest, watching history programs, watching educational shows. It's better than the baloney garbage crap that network television has to entertain us today.
Well, if you're a friend of Sean's on Facebook, he posts. I'll tell you what, he posts a lot about JFK, and he posts a real lot about his Boston teams. I mean, a real lot. And he goes back in the years to. He posts about Bird stuff. He posts about Ted Williams. A lot of Boston, a lot of New England, a lot of his teams. He does. Trust me. Sometimes I see it, and he does 3, 4, 5, 6 posts in a row, and I'm like, okay, dude. Okay, I got you. I understand you're a Boston fan. I got
Boston sports fans. They're some of the best sports fans there are. I can't say that really about fans from Los Angeles or fans from Miami, but I'll say this. Boston fans, they are true blue to their teams.
Hey, you know what? We got to run to our last. You know what? Screw the last break. We're just going to blow right through it this time.
I love you guys.
That's all. Blowing right through the final break of the day. How about that?
Is this like blowing through a stop sign or a stoplight?
Yeah, instead of a rolling stop, we're just going to blow right through it.
So like Sammy Hagar can drive 55 right through it.
Correct.
Bingo.
Like a bell tower clock that always reads 5:30, the upper deck was an eerie space frozen in time with the filled-out scorecards, half-full cups of beer, and unswept peanut shells under the seats. The series did not resume until late the next week, and the A's picked up where they left off, beating the Giants 2 more times to sweep the series. Now, I have a question to ask you both.
I love you, dude. I love you, dude. You somehow, some way, you're bringing us right back to the story. You don't give a flying fig Newton. I love you,
dude. And here's another thing.
Do you remember?
You're driving through. You're piling this, Jeff. You're driving through the stoplight at 55.
Damn
Perfect.
Skippy we
Let's
are.
go on.
And here's the thing. Do you remember who you were going for in the 1989 World Series?
Oh, I can tell
the
you.
A's and the Giants. Who?
I can tell you. I was only 8 years old. I was in second grade. I had no idea of what at times the difference were right and wrong. And I ask all the little boys out there that are 8 years old and in second grade now, please, for all that's holy, do not be like I was when I was 8 years old and in second grade. Because when I was 8 years old and in second grade, I was nothing more than a hyperactive monster. So to tell you the truth, I was going for the A's because they defeated my Cubs.
8 years
now it'd be
old?
different now. I would have no rooting interests. I would pick them based on the merit on who I thought was the better team coming in. But being that you're 8 years old, second grade, you have no idea of the concept of life. I was just mad that the Giants beat the Cubs. I wanted the A's to sweep away the Giants, and sure enough, they did.
8 years old?
Could you pick your what? Let me ask you this, Jeff. Could you visualize me as an 8-year-old boy?
I can't visualize you as a 40-year-old man, so no.
Okay, no. Picture me as an 8-year-old boy.
I can't
was
do that.
off the charts.
No,
I
8 years.
was off the charts.
I was
off the
20.
charts hyperactive.
In 1989, I was 23.
Who did you go for, buddy?
I don't think I went for either team because I didn't like either team. So it didn't matter to me. I was actually okay that the World Series was kind of earthquaked out.
Well, let me say this, too. It's interesting you mentioned about the fact that you lived in San Diego since the 80s, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
There was some talk, and I do remember this in the day or two after the earthquake, that there was some talk of playing the World Series at a neutral site along the West Coast. Major League Baseball, although this was really small talk, nothing serious, but the options were potentially there to move the World Series either up north to what was then the Kingdome in Seattle, or down in the Southern California to Dodger Stadium, Anaheim Stadium, which looks different now as opposed to what it was 25 years ago, or even Jack Murphy Stadium, which is now known as Qualcomm Stadium, considering that the Padres had played there. There was some talk of moving it to a neutral site to speed up everything.
Wow.
But it was only small talk.
I can't believe it. See, I graduated high school in 1984 and moved to California in 1986.
1984 was a great year for the Chicago Cubs, by the way, as well.
I am going back to New York in November, first week in November, for my 30-year high school reunion. How about that, Frankie?
Hey, you know what? It's interesting. I know you're not a Cub fan, but I have a 1984 Cubs home jersey and a Cubs away jersey.
Really?
Ryan Sandberg jerseys, each with the playoff patch, because the Cubs in '84 in the NLCS in '84, they had patches on the right side of their sleeves commemorating the NL East divisional champions.
Look at Andrew. Andrew goes, I was 1 year old in 1989. Sean was 2, 1989.
Okay, if you're 1 year old in 1989, well, you know what? He's the same age, Andrew, as a few Chicago sports figures. He's the same age as guys that occupy the United Center. He's the same age as Jonathan Taves, Patrick Kane, and Derrick Rose.
You guys make me feel old.
But I think the good thing about this story is we're getting ready to close up with it being 25 years. With all the history and with all the tragic things that have happened in our country, sports is a way to heal people and get past the traumas and get people past the sad events and just focus on the present and get back to enjoying life.
Except when Skippy makes mistakes like that and opens up his mouth.
Oh my goodness, here we go. We had gone this entire hour without hearing about you know who, and sure enough, you just become the party pooper, Jeff.
The party pooper? I hate that guy.
I know you do.
Skippy Bayless says, hey, bring it on, people. Bring it on. If you think you can take me on and you can beat me in a sports debate, try to take me on and I'll whoop you.
Hey,
Jeff, you should go for that.
I want to take him on. I'll tell you what. I'll take him on, and the winner has to wear the other team's favorite jersey. So bring it on, Skippy, because you know what you're going to be wearing when I'm done with you, don't you?
And then he would probably say, I'll take you on, Mr. Escal,
He's
Mr.
not.
Man, Mr. Sprinkle, and we'll see who will be whining toward the end.
Because the
It
first
won't
time
be me. I'll be out there winning the whole thing.
The first time you say my Royals, I'm going to shut you down because you haven't rooted for them all year long. All of a sudden they're in the division, getting ready to freaking sweep it.
LeBron James every night.
All of a sudden they're in the division and you're getting ready to sweep it. All of a sudden you're calling them my Royals. You're full of crap.
And then he says, my Chargers today.
Yeah, that's wrong.
My Chargers. Wait, hold on. Didn't his Cowboys win on Sunday?
Yeah, but all of a sudden the Chargers are his now. You're full of
okay,
crap.
So he thinks that the Chargers are the team to watch right now.
Hey, you
so
know
he's
something?
adopted his team. Oh my!
Hey,
I don't
Skip.
know. This guy is so polarizing.
Hey, you know what, Skip? You're not allowed to jump on the Chargers bandwagon. We don't want you. Get the hell off.
He would probably say, hey, I make my millions of dollars. There's nothing you can do about it. Nobody's going to suspend me or kick me off the air.
I'll get you suspended if you have me on your radio show. I guarantee it. I guarantee I'll get you suspended. You don't think you can get suspended from ESPN? I guarantee I'll get you suspended from ESPN if you let me on your show. I guarantee it. And bet me.
Right.
Bet me your salary that I can't do it. Come on. Because you know what'll happen. You rat bastard, you.
And Frank, what do you think?
Didn't we went an entire without mentioning Skip Bayless. I was hoping we would have mentioned this guy's
Can't
name.
stand him.
Sure enough, it's how many we're. Oh my goodness, we can't go with. Oh my. We came so close to not mentioning Skippy here.
We mentioned it in the first hour. If you were with the beginning of the show,
I was
heard.
watching Game 3.
Well, I was watching Game 3 too while I was doing the show.
My San Diego Chargers will take on my New England Patriots, and my New England Patriots will win and eventually play my Dallas Cowboys.
How many teams do you have?
He flip-flops. That's his thing. He's a flip-flopper. He's a follower. And arguably one of the worst followers I've ever seen.
My San Diego Chargers are going to lose to my New England Patriots, and my New England Patriots are going to take on my Dallas Cowboys in the Super Bowl. Does that make any freaking sense to anybody listening to this show?
No.
Frank?
Wait a minute. You don't like my or you or we.
It's the only person that can say my or the team, the owners of the team. Like Jerry Jones, he can say my Dallas Cowboys. He's the owner.
Josh goes, nobody circles the bandwagons like Skippy Bayless and his Jerry Jones cock-loving expletive.
He does, man. He changes his mind more than a woman changes her tampon when she's on her period. I know Frank likes that.
Yeah, dude, that's pretty creative.
I know Frank likes that one.
Well,
let me ask you this: aren't you blessed to be a dude? Because of that.
Yeah. Oh, you bet your sweet petunias.
Yeah, dude. You know what? That's the one thing I think every night. I thank the good Lord above. I'm a dude because I don't have to worry about that stuff or makeup or anything. I'm a dude. I thank the Lord every night for it.
Look at that place. Look at Kauffman Stadium. Look at that place.
Dude, we gotta get going in a minute or two. I gotta check it out.
Well, what happens if Skippy Bayless took you on, Frank, and says, "I'll take you on, Frank, and debate you"?
Where does he want it?
Where does he want it?
Where's location?
Where does he want it? Right up. Hey, just stick it right up his hole, man.
All right, fine. You know what? Fine location, but I picked the time, 2 a.m.
Location. Hey, Skippy Bayless, open up your mouth so I can shit in it. Because that's exactly what's going to happen when I come on your show.
He probably would say, "Oh, you people are just jealous because I know how to make my predictions come true and know more about sports than you people do."
You're not a true sports reporter. Sports reporters are supposed to be objective. You're not a true sports reporter. Okay, you might be a fan of the team, but you're not a true sports reporter because you put the word "my" in front of every team you talk about.
Then he would say, well, what happens when my Dallas Cowboys play my Cleveland Browns in the Super Bowl? Then he'll go right back to the prediction that he said in middle August.
Let me ask you a question. Then how does that How does both the teams become yours, and how do you put mine in front of both of them? Either way, you're going to win a Super Bowl. Does that make any sense? No. And first of all, you are not a fan of the Cowboys. You're not a fan. Okay, you might be a fan of the Cowboys. You probably grew up a Cowboy fan because you lived in Oklahoma. But you're not a fan of Cleveland. You're not a fan of San Diego. You're not a fan of New England. You're just a fan when they're playing really good. You jump on the bandwagon. You know what you are? You're a bandwagon fan. You're not a true sports reporter. Sports reporters are supposed to be objective, just like me. When the Giants suck, I say they suck.
Or you would say this, hey, Jeff, Frank, and Sean, how about when my Cowboys beat the Seattle Seahawks? I didn't hear you saying too much there. You were pretty quiet on Sunday. That's what he would say.
I just like to smack him in his head. Hey, you know what? We're getting the flock out of here.
I want to see Kauffman Stadium.
Yeah, we're getting the flock out of here. I want to go watch this game. Kauffman Stadium is going to be rocking. I want to see it be rocking. So everybody go enjoy the baseball game tonight. Remember, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable.
Amen.
Peace out, everybody. For Sean Man, Frank Sprankle, I'm Jeff Escal. This has been Sports World Radio. Peace out, bitches.
Bye-bye.
All right,
Hey, boys, Stimpy. We sure had fun today, didn't we? So long, kids. Come on, Stimpy, say goodbye.
Where are we going?
The show's over.